Chosen one, your bank account is about to explode. Divine timing. Something big is happening. And it's not just luck, not just chance, and definitely not a coincidence. If you've found this message, it's because you're in alignment with a divine moment that's been written into your destiny from the beginning. The vibration of abundance, prosperity, and overflow is now circling around you. You're not imagining it, you're not dreaming it. You are walking into a reality where money will no longer be your limitation. Instead, it will become your confirmation. Confirmation that the struggle had a purpose. Confirmation that all the waiting wasn't in vain. And confirmation that divine timing is real, and it is now. Before we continue, I invite you to do something powerful. Watch this message all the way to the end, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Let the truth in these words anchor themselves in your soul. Let it ignite your vision and awaken the wealth-coded DNA already inside you. And when you feel the energy shifting, because it will, go to the comments and write your warmest wish and the number 99. That single act is more than a gesture. It's a declaration, a signal to the universe that you are open, ready, and expecting overflow. Chosen one, you've been preparing for this without even knowing it. That strange inner pull that kept whispering, something more is coming. That was not your imagination. That was your higher self communicating with the divine blueprint. There have been moments in your past where the math didn't add up, where the efforts seemed fruitless, where the breakthroughs felt delayed. But what if I told you the delay was the design? What if I told you that everything you endured wasn't a punishment? It was protection, preparation, positioning. That's the truth. You see, in divine timing, the blessing must match the version of you who can carry it. If you had received what's coming too early, you might have mishandled it, doubted it, or even sabotaged it. But now you've been refined. You've been humbled, stretched, awakened, and realigned. You no longer chase money, you attract it. You no longer beg for opportunity, you embody it. You no longer operate from fear, you operate from knowing. This is the difference between wishing and receiving, between hoping and commanding. And your energy has now become magnetic. There's something about you that draws in blessings without force. You're walking into rooms and shifting atmospheres. You're having random thoughts that suddenly become real. You're noticing people treating you differently, sensing something powerful about you. That's because your field has changed. Your frequency is no longer hidden. It's broadcasting. I'm ready. I'm aligned. I'm wealthy. But let's go deeper. Money is energy. It's not just paper. It's not just a number on a screen. It's a reflection of where your focus is, where your belief is, and what your inner world accepts as true. And guess what? Your inner world has been under reconstruction. That scarcity you grew up with, it's breaking apart. That fear of not having enough, it's dissolving. The generational cycles of lack that were passed down to you, they're ending with you. You are the shift. You are the first. You are the unshakable root of a new family tree that will know only wealth, overflow, and divine provision. You no longer see money as survival. You now understand it as expression, as expansion, as a mirror to the power within you. And because of that, your bank account is about to explode. Not out of luck, not out of randomness, but because it is your energetic birthright. It is your spiritual inheritance. It is the promise that everything you've planted is about to bloom, multiplied. You've done the hard part. You kept going. You didn't fold. You kept believing when nothing around you made sense. You chose light when darkness surrounded you. And now, The universe is rewarding that resilience, not with pennies, not with scraps, but with a wave of wealth so large that it will redefine your life. This is not temporary money. This is not a one-time blessing. This is a permanent shift in your financial dimension. People won't understand. Some will question how this happened for you, but you will know. You'll smile, not because you owe them an explanation, but because you'll recognize this moment as divine timing in motion. It's the moment you've dreamed about, the one that seemed so far away, and yet here it is, at your doorstep, knocking. And let me tell you something else. You're not just receiving this for yourself. You're receiving it to be a blessing to others. You are a distribution center for divine wealth. Through you, others will eat. Through you, visions will be funded. Through you, healing will be spread. Because chosen one, you're not just rich, you're wealthy in purpose. And when purpose meets provision, the entire world changes. This is what you've been prepared for. This is why you were hidden. This is why doors were shut. This is why you were delayed, denied, redirected. Because the wealth coming to you now is too sacred to be rushed. It had to be sealed, protected, and divinely revealed. And it's happening now. Stay grounded, stay aligned, speak with authority, walk with boldness. You're not waiting on abundance anymore. Abundance is waiting on you to claim it, to embody it, to let it flow through you. The codes are active, the channels are open, the universe is listening. There is something sacred about the season you are entering. It's not loud, it doesn't need announcements, it moves in silence and unfolds in perfect precision. You're stepping into a dimension where your energy alone opens financial gates. You no longer need to figure everything out. You simply need to align, to become the version of yourself who already lives in the overflow. That's the key, because wealth isn't just about what's in your bank account. It's about what your mind, your soul, and your habits agree with. The old version of you made decisions from fear. You calculated risks by imagining what might go wrong. You chose smaller doors to feel safe, not realizing you were created to build doors. But now that fear is gone, that survival mode no longer defines you. You are no longer asking for permission to receive. You are declaring your authority to receive because you finally remember who you are. This is divine timing. And divine timing doesn't operate in hours or minutes. It moves by vibration. When your internal world aligns with the frequency of wealth, the external must respond. Money shows up. Opportunities appear. Ideas flow in. It's not magic, it's alignment. Have you noticed how some people try everything, work themselves to the bone, yet the flow never comes? It's because they're disconnected from timing. They're trying to build outside of alignment. But you've surrendered. You've tapped into something greater than force. You've stepped into receiving mode. And in receiving mode, things happen faster, smoother, more powerfully than you imagined. You are no longer chasing anything. You're simply becoming everything. You don't need to run after the bag. The bag finds you. Because the frequency of wealth is a current. And right now, you are swimming with it, not against it. And that current is divine. You're going to wake up one morning and notice something. The numbers in your account won't match your old identity anymore. They will reflect the new you, the expanded you, the trusted vessel of divine wealth. And when that day comes, you won't be surprised. You'll be grateful, yes, in awe, absolutely, but surprised, because you knew. Deep down, you always knew this moment was coming. You felt it during the dry seasons. You held on to the vision, even when it made no sense. You kept preparing. And now, the harvest is undeniable. Do you know why it's your bank account that's about to explode? and not someone else's. Because you're not just a vessel, you're a lighthouse. You radiate a frequency that helps others remember what's possible. That's why your elevation will be public. People will witness it, not to impress, but to awaken. Your breakthrough becomes someone else's confirmation. Your rise unlocks their hope, and that's what makes this divine. The flow coming to you isn't just for personal gain, it's for divine distribution. You'll have enough to pay your debts, fund your vision, support your loved ones, and still have overflow. The kind of overflow that allows you to bless in silence, to give without needing recognition, to invest in futures that haven't even been written yet. That's wealth, that's legacy, that's divine timing. But listen, there will be distractions. As the breakthrough nears, old thoughts may try to resurface. Doubts may whisper, "Can this really happen?" That's the final test, because right before divine release, the ego will try to reclaim its grip. Don't fall for it. Observe it, then return to your knowing. You don't need to know how. You just need to know who you are. The how is the universe's job. The alignment, that's yours. Chosen one, this isn't just about manifestation. This is about embodiment. You're no longer manifesting wealth. You are becoming wealth. It is embedded in your decisions, your posture, your vibration. It's in the way you walk into a room, in the way you respond to problems, in the calmness that now lives where anxiety used to dwell. And the moment you fully become the vibration of wealth, the physical reality must comply. Your phone will ring with new offers. Payments will come out of nowhere. People will bring you gifts. Unexpected doors will swing open. And it will all feel so natural, like it was always meant to happen this way. Because it was. It's not that you're lucky, it's that you've aligned with a frequency so rare, so precise, that the universe has no choice but to deliver. There's a divine equation at work here. Your past obedience plus your inner transformation equals financial explosion. But be warned, this new level requires new standards. You can't carry old mindsets into this new financial dimension. You must protect your peace, guard your energy, speak with intention, say no faster, say yes slower. Not everything deserves your presence anymore, especially now. Because this time, you're not just building wealth, you're building a life that can hold wealth. A life where money flows with ease, with purpose, with direction. No more chaos, no more confusion, just clarity, alignment, and elevation. It's your time. There is a sacred rhythm to this universe, and you are finally dancing to it. Not rushing, not forcing, simply flowing. And that's why wealth is on its way to you. Not in the form of random deposits, but through intentional channels crafted just for you. This is not about chance. This is about divine architecture. The blueprint has always existed. It's just that you had to evolve into the version of yourself who could finally read it, understand it, and walk it out. That's the real secret. Wealth isn't just inherited, it's unlocked. And you have just found the key. You've reached the frequency where the locks begin to click open without resistance. What you may not realize is that the universe doesn't operate on effort alone. It responds to resonance. You've spent years trying to push things into place, but now you're drawing them to you. Everything is beginning to respond to your energy, not your hustle, not your worry, but your quiet confidence that says, "I am aligned with abundance, and I expect nothing less." And now, everything is listening. Your bank account is a mirror, and for the first time, it's about to reflect the truth of who you really are. Not the lies you were told about your worth, not the generational fear around money, but the soul-level awareness that you are a magnet for overflow, a conduit of divine prosperity, a sacred channel for limitless provision. You don't need to beg for what's yours. You don't need to over-explain yourself. You don't need to compete or prove anything. You only need to continue being and becoming. The rest is already moving. You've already noticed the signs, the random checks, the unexpected refunds, the increase in clients, the job offers, the inspired business ideas that come in the middle of the night. That wasn't coincidence. That was divine proof. Gentle signals that the big wave is on the horizon, and when it comes, it won't trickle, it will pour. Because this moment has been accumulating behind the scenes for years. Every time you felt forgotten, unseen, or overlooked, energy was building. Wealth was organizing itself. Your angels were negotiating on your behalf. And now the gates are opening. Wide. Fully. Without delay. People will ask how you did it. And the truth is, you didn't do it. You became it. You realigned your beliefs. You dismantled the programming that said you weren't enough. You stopped apologizing for your vision. You stopped watering yourself down. And that's what changed the game. You started walking like someone who expects overflow. You began making decisions as if money was already flowing. You started blessing others even when you had little. And that told the universe you were ready. That's why it's coming now. Because you showed up like it was already yours. And now, it is. Let me remind you of something crucial. Abundance doesn't start in the wallet. It starts in the mindset. And your mindset is no longer sabotaging your destiny. Your inner world has expanded beyond fear, beyond scarcity, beyond shame. And because of that, your outer world must follow. There is no other option. It's not just that your bank account is about to explode. It's that your entire financial identity is being rewritten. You are no longer trying to make ends meet. You are no longer hoping to pay the bills. You are no longer wishing to survive. You are stepping into overflow, into expansion, into the chapter where wealth chases you. And when you receive it, and you will, don't shrink. Don't hide. Don't sabotage. This time, receive with open arms and an open heart. Let it land. Let it grow. Let it heal everything that the struggle wounded. Because wealth is more than material. It's medicine. Medicine for the soul, for the lineage, for the future. Your children will live differently because of this shift. Your community will be impacted by your glow. Strangers will feel safer just by being near your peaceful energy. Why? Because money, when held by a healed person, becomes a tool for light. And that's what you are. A beacon of light, now financially empowered to expand your purpose. And don't worry about the ones who don't understand. Let them talk. Let them guess. You don't need to defend your miracle. Divine timing doesn't need validation. It only needs space to unfold. So make room. Clean out the clutter. Finish what needs closing. Prepare your accounts. Get your systems in place. Because what's coming is not small. What's coming is not temporary. What's coming is a multi-dimensional upgrade that will make you wonder why you ever settled for less. This is the moment you stop surviving and start circulating. Circulating wealth, wisdom, healing, support. And as you circulate it, more will come. It's not subtraction. It's multiplication. The more you bless, the more you rise. The more you rise, the more you become a lighthouse for those still stuck in darkness. And isn't that why you were chosen? Not just to receive, but to redefine what receiving looks like. Not just to live in abundance, but to prove that spiritual alignment and material abundance are not opposites, they're companions. This is the new era, the divine era, the overflow era, and your name has already been written on it. It's happening, not next year, not when you've ticked every box or reached some imagined finish line. It's happening now, because divine timing isn't about being ready in the eyes of the world. It's about being willing in the eyes of the universe, willing to receive, willing to expand, willing to believe that something massive is unfolding even before it physically appears. You've entered a zone where the laws are different. The delays that once frustrated you are now being flipped into rapid acceleration. Things are moving in your favor even when you're sleeping. That's how divine timing works. It bends time for you. It moves people, situations, and ideas in such a way that what used to take years will now take days. What used to feel impossible is becoming your new normal. And this time, it won't come with the anxiety it used to. This blessing won't cost you your peace. This overflow won't drain you. That was the old way, the struggle-reward cycle that kept you chained to hardship. But you've graduated. Now, abundance is coming to you gently, effortlessly, with grace. Not because life suddenly got easier, but because you got wiser. You've learned the secret. It's not about trying harder. It's about allowing more. Allowing the energy of prosperity to reach you. Letting go of guilt. Letting go of unworthiness. Letting go of the belief that you have to earn every drop. You don't. You're not being rewarded for suffering. You're being elevated for aligning. That's a big difference. And let's be honest, you paid your dues. You kept quiet while others mocked your path. You stayed focused while distractions begged for your attention. You believed in the unseen when others called it delusion. You honored your vision, protected your energy, and now the universe is honoring you. What's about to show up in your bank account isn't random. It's recognition, a divine thank you for holding the frequency when everything around you screamed lack. You became the wealth. You didn't just wish for it, you embodied it. And that embodiment activated a powerful ripple that is now circling back to you with interest. Expect increase. Expect unexpected deposits. Expect canceled debts. Expect upgrades, not just in your finances, but in how you view yourself, because that's the real wealth. Your identity shift. You no longer see money as something out there that you must chase. You now recognize that money lives in you. It flows through you, responds to you, and reflects the belief systems you've rooted in your soul. That's why this shift is permanent. You didn't just get a glimpse of abundance, you became the source of it. And here's something most people don't understand. The energy of wealth is neutral. It flows where it is welcomed. It avoids chaos. It avoids fear. It avoids environments where it isn't honored. That's why, for so long, it stayed away. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were in conflict with it. But now, that conflict is gone. The resistance has dissolved. And because of that, money is finally free to pour in. You are becoming a sanctuary for abundance, a place where wealth feels safe, a vessel that money trusts. You don't hoard, you circulate. You don't fear losing, you expect multiplying. And that energy is magnetic. That energy makes financial blessings find you. Not through labor, but through grace. Not through burnout, but through alignment. And as the money flows in, so does clarity. You'll know what to do with it. You'll know who to trust. You'll know what investments to make. That confusion you once had, gone. Because divine timing doesn't just bring blessings, it brings wisdom to handle them. You'll notice your standards rising. The things you tolerated when you were broke will no longer have access to you. You'll protect your energy like it's currency, because it is. You'll decline invitations that feel forced. You'll walk away from tables where your spirit isn't fed. Because now you understand. Your wealth isn't limited to what's in the bank. It's also in your boundaries, your choices, your inner peace. You are wealthy, and you are becoming wealthier by the hour, in every sense. Don't flinch when the shift accelerates. Don't downplay it. Don't dilute your light to make others comfortable. This is your season of overflow, and it was tailor-made for you. Not because of what you have, but because of who you've become. And if it feels surreal, that's okay. Let it. Let the beauty of this moment wrap around you. Let the increase humble you, not shrink you. Let the doors open without guilt. Let the old stories fall apart. You're not the same person who used to struggle just to stay afloat. You're the version who floats above, who glides, who receives. The old you would have apologized for receiving too much. The new you simply smiles and says, "Thank you." You are not just being blessed, you are being recalibrated. You are not just gaining money, you are embodying abundance. The difference is everything. The results will be undeniable. You're not in the waiting room anymore. You're in the release phase. That invisible line you've been standing on for years has now been crossed. There's no going back to struggle, no returning to lack, no more tiptoeing around your own worth. You're walking in full ownership now, of your destiny, of your calling, of your divine right to overflow. And make no mistake, this is wealth with purpose. This is not about shiny distractions or shallow status symbols. This is wealth that makes you untouchable, because it's rooted in identity, not illusion. You're not building castles in the sand. You're laying foundations that will last for generations. The abundance you're stepping into has spiritual depth, emotional maturity, energetic clarity. It's not just financial increase, it's soul-level restoration. For too long, money was a source of anxiety, a trigger, a limit, a wall between you and the life you were meant to live. But now, money has become a bridge. It's a tool in your hands, no longer a master over your mind. You are finally free. Free to live, free to create, free to build and breathe without counting every coin or doubting every decision. And that freedom is expanding you. It's changing the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you approach opportunities. You're not desperate anymore. You're deliberate. You don't chase. You choose. You don't hope. You know. And that knowing, that energy, that's what's driving everything to you right now. People can feel it. They might not know what shifted, but they know something has. You're glowing differently. You're carrying an inner power that can't be faked. It's the posture of someone who has been through the fire and came out gold. Someone who has known darkness but chose to become light. That's why the universe is elevating you now. Because you proved that no matter how hard it got, you never let it harden your heart. That is divine wealth. And as your bank account begins to reflect this shift, you'll notice something else. Your priorities are evolving. You'll feel called to invest in things that feed your spirit. You'll want to support others who remind you of who you once were. You'll look at your money and realize, this isn't just for me. This is for every version of me that suffered, every version of me that survived, and every soul I've yet to meet who will be blessed by my obedience. Because let's be clear, this blessing is an assignment. Yes, you'll enjoy it. Yes, you'll live in comfort. But most importantly, you'll carry it well. Because the overflow coming to you isn't meant to just change your life. It's meant to activate you, to awaken parts of you that were waiting for permission to dream again, to say yes to visions you once shelved, to build things that will outlive your name. And that's why divine timing took so long. Not because you were being punished, but because you were being positioned. The universe had to strip away everything that would have diluted this moment. The doubts, the distractions, the wrong people, the small thinking, the habits of survival that once masqueraded as strength. All of it had to go, because now you're not surviving, you're creating. Creating systems, creating structures, creating peace, creating beauty, and most importantly, creating wealth that moves with intention. You don't just want to be rich, you want to be rich in meaning, rich in freedom, rich in time, space, love, and purpose. You want wealth that doesn't weigh you down, wealth that lifts you. And guess what? That's exactly what's arriving. Don't be surprised when your income triples from a single idea. Don't be shocked when you're invited into rooms you once felt invisible in. Don't second-guess the opportunities that seem too good to be true. They're not. They're divinely designed for someone who has done the inner work. Because this part of your journey is no longer about struggle, it's about stewardship. How well can you hold this next level? How boldly can you expand? How generously can you give while still receiving more? This is the dance now. This is the art of aligned abundance. You don't have to grip, you don't have to guard, you just have to flow. And flowing is what you were made for. This next chapter will move fast, and it will feel surreal, but it's real. The deposits will be real, the partnerships will be real, the financial breakthroughs, the deals, the sudden clarity, all real. Because you've crossed the threshold from hoping to knowing. You're not here to take what you can get. You're here to receive what has always had your name on it. And now that it's finding you, let it come. With open hands, open heart, and an open life. Let the wealth pour in, not just through money, but through joy, peace, connections, and expansion. This is it. This is not just the end of a message. This is the beginning of a new frequency, a new timeline, a new identity that is no longer attached to lack, fear, or waiting. You've entered the overflow, and nothing will ever be the same again. From this moment forward, you don't walk into situations wondering if there's enough for you. You walk knowing that you are enough, and therefore abundance follows. This isn't ego. This is truth. This is not about arrogance. This is about alignment. When you carry the vibration of divine wealth, you don't need to prove yourself. You simply show up and allow the blessing to recognize you. Everything that's meant for you is already orbiting you right now. The contracts, the clients, the connections, the opportunities, they're not lost. They're circling, waiting for that perfect energetic moment to land. And this is that moment. This is the permission you've been unknowingly seeking, the green light you've been praying for, the divine nod that says, go, rise, receive. You've spent years making yourself smaller so others could feel comfortable. You've said, maybe later, when your soul was screaming, now. You've delayed dreams because you didn't think the resources would show up in time. But now, the resources are no longer the issue because you have become the resource. You're the one with the vision, the power, the vibration to birth realities from pure belief. The money isn't just coming, it's flowing, and more importantly, it's staying. You're no longer in the loop of make and lose. You've broken the cycle of sudden bursts, followed by droughts. You've stabilized your energy. You've healed the inner wounds that used to repel wealth. That's why it will continue to multiply. It's not going anywhere, because now it has a home. That home is your body, your mind, your heart, your soul. You've become a safe house for abundance, a place where prosperity can land, rest, and expand without fear of being wasted, misused, or rejected. And because of that, the universe trusts you now. Yes, the universe trusts you now. And when the universe trusts you, you are never without. You're never empty. You're never lost. Even when you don't see the full picture, you feel the fullness inside you. That's what divine timing delivers. Not just results, but revelation. You're realizing that the struggle was part of the wealth story, that the scarcity made space for gratitude, that the waiting developed your wisdom, that the people who walked away only made room for those who were meant to stay. Every loss, every silence, every delay, it all worked together to place you right here, exactly where you need to be. This is not hype. This is not fantasy. This is a confirmation that you've entered the frequency where miracles become normal, where money doesn't feel far, but familiar, where overflow is not a peak, but a baseline. This is divine timing in its purest form. Not loud, but undeniable. Your inbox will reflect it. Your texts will reflect it. Your business will reflect it. Your body will feel it. Your environment will shift because of it. You'll walk differently, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you're finally free. And that freedom, that's the ultimate wealth. So now, breathe, feel it, receive it. Let this moment stamp itself into your memory as the before and after. Before you were guessing, now you know. Before you were doubting, now you trust. Before you were hoping, now you expect. That's power. That's prosperity. That's divine. You will look back on this season and smile. Not because it was easy, but because it was yours. Because you didn't rush it. Because you didn't settle. Because you waited for the wealth that was meant for you, and now it's here. Congratulations, chosen one. Your bank account is about to explode. Your timeline is now divine. Your legacy has already begun. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel what's happening within you. This isn't just another message. This is a cellular shift, an energetic reprogramming, a realignment with the truth you've always carried deep inside. You were never meant to live small. You were never created for scarcity. You were never designed to live life in constant worry about what's next. That tension you've lived with for years, the mental math, the quiet panic, the endless planning for the worst, it's leaving you now. That inner conflict between your vision and your reality is dissolving. Because now, for the first time, your reality is finally catching up to your vibration. What you believed in the dark is coming to life in the light. You believed when there was no proof. You kept speaking life when everything around you was dry. You sowed seeds into people, visions, dreams, when you barely had anything left for yourself. And now the harvest is not only coming, it's multiplying. This is your divine reward, not just for enduring, but for evolving. And you didn't do it for the money. You didn't heal your heart, realign your spirit, and trust the process just to end up with numbers in an account. That was never the end goal. But here's the miracle. When you align with your soul's truth, everything else falls into place, including the money, including the success, including the freedom you once thought was only for other people. But it's yours now. You're not the same person who once begged for opportunities. You've become the opportunity. You're not the person who watched others rise while feeling stuck. Now, you're rising. Not because someone handed it to you, but because you became the kind of person who was ready to hold it all. That's the difference. That's the reason divine timing chose you. Others saw the surface, the outer version of you. But divine timing saw your roots. It saw the nights you cried, the mornings you got up anyway, the prayers no one knew you whispered, the silent battles you never told a soul about. It saw your spirit, and your spirit was always rich, even when your bank account wasn't. That's why the explosion that's about to take place in your finances isn't random. It's sacred, it's personal, it's intentional, it's karmic, and it's written. Because let's be clear, you didn't miss anything. You didn't fall behind. You're not too late. What's yours was simply being held, protected, stored, until you were ready. And now, you are ready. This part of your life is going to feel different. You won't just have money, you'll have clarity, direction, peace. You'll wake up with joy instead of stress. You'll make choices from empowerment, not desperation. And you'll start to see the world through a lens of abundance. Because now, abundance is in you. You'll stop saying things like, "I can't afford it." You'll stop shrinking your desires. You'll stop thinking small to avoid disappointment. Because now, everything in you understands. You are allowed to have more. You are built to hold more. And you are trusted with more. There are new doors opening right now, even as you listen. New realms unlocking. New favor pouring in. Don't question how fast it's happening. Don't try to justify it to others. Just receive. That's all you have to do now. Receive, accept, trust, and expand. Because your energy is the evidence. Your joy is the receipt. Your ease is the sign. You're not in pursuit anymore. You are in possession. You're not trying to reach wealth. You are wealth. And that revelation changes everything. Chosen one, you've crossed the invisible bridge. From someday to right now. From almost to absolutely. From I hope to I know. And now that you've arrived, don't apologize for it. Don't shrink. Don't wait for someone else to validate what you already feel in your soul. This is your moment. This is your alignment. This is your divine explosion. So take a deep breath. Feel the frequency, smile at your past, embrace your present, and step boldly into your future. Wealthy, ready, chosen. You may have thought the message was over, but chosen one, it's only just beginning. Because when divine timing arrives, it doesn't knock once, it breaks the door down. There's a wave of confirmation coming to you that will silence every doubt you've ever had. A moment so specific, so perfect, so undeniable, that it will erase every memory of struggle you've carried like armor. What's about to land in your life will rewrite your timeline, not just forward, but backward. It will redeem everything. The lost time, the missed chances, the heavy nights, the quiet suffering, all of it. Why? Because divine wealth doesn't just show up in numbers. It shows up in healing. It shows up in presence, in peace, in the full-bodied knowing that says, I'm no longer behind. I am exactly where I need to be. This is the part they don't tell you about. The part after the breakthrough, the stillness, the grounding, the moment where you look around and realize you're safe now, you're supported now. The version of you who was always on edge, always waiting for the next setback, can finally rest. Take it in. This is what divine timing feels like. It's quiet, but electric. It's soft, but absolute. It's not demanding, it's commanding. You're walking into rooms now that were built with you in mind. You're receiving calls from people you once thought were unreachable. Your name is being spoken in spaces where you've never even set foot, not because of networking, but because of energetic alignment. And it's only increasing from here. The financial blessings, they'll show up, yes, but what will shock you more is how natural it all feels. Not forced, not frantic, just true, as if it had always belonged to you. Because it did. You were never meant to be hidden forever. You were never meant to just survive. You were designed for influence, for impact, for overflow, and now you're ready. What you'll notice next is this. Everything becomes clear. What used to confuse you will now excite you. What once felt overwhelming will now feel like an opportunity. You're no longer reacting to life. You're creating it. You're no longer wondering, what if? You're choosing what's next. Because here's the truth. Money follows vision, and your vision is sharper than it's ever been. Your intentions are pure. Your heart is open, and your time is now.